Alright, part 4 of the 4 basic nutrients. Last one, fats. This is knowledge with the knowledge, universally alkaline, natural health and wellness, and herbal remedies. Giving you a breakdown of the 4 basic nutrients. We on the last one, like I said, which is your fats. Although much attention has been focused on the need to reduce dietary fat, the body does not need fat. During things like infancy and childhood, fat is necessary for normal brain development. Throughout life, it's essential to provide energy and support growth. Fat is in fact the most concentrated source of energy available to the body. However, after about 2 years of age, the body requires only small amounts of fats, much less than is provided by the average American diet. If you're an adult, about 1/3 of your calories should come from fat. Of that total, 1/3 should be saturated, 1/3 should be polyunsaturated, which is things like corn oil and fish oil, and 1/3 should be monounsaturated, which is things like olive oil. Excessive fat intake is a major causative factor in obesity, high blood pressure, and coronary heart disease, as well as colon cancer, and has been linked to a number of disorders as well. To understand how fat intake is related to these health problems, it's necessary to understand the different types of fat available and the ways in which each of these fats act within the body. So, fats are composed of building blocks called fatty acids. There are 3 major categories of fatty acids. You got saturated, polyunsaturated, and monounsaturated. These classifications are based on the number of hydrogen atoms in the chemical structure of a given molecule of fatty acid. Your saturated fatty acids are found primarily in animal products, including things like dairy items such as whole milk, ice cream, butters, and cheese, and fatty meats like beef, veal, lamb, pork, and ham. Fat marbling you can see in beef and pork is composed of saturated fat. Some vegetable products, including coconut oil and palm kernel oil, are also high in saturates. The liver uses saturated fats to manufacture cholesterol. The excessive dietary intake of saturated fats can significantly raise blood cholesterol levels, especially the level of low-density lipoproteins, LDLs, or what's known as bad cholesterol. Most experts recommend that the daily intake of saturated fats be kept below 10% of total caloric intake. However, for people who have severe problems with high blood cholesterol, even that level may be too high. So if you're dealing with high blood cholesterol, keep it well under 10%. Polyunsaturated fats or polyunsaturated fatty acids are found in the greatest abundance of corn, soybean, safflower, and sunflower oils. Certain fish oil also high in polyunsaturates. Unlike saturated fats, polyunsaturated may actually lower the total blood cholesterol level. In doing so, however, large amounts of polyunsaturated also have the tendency to reduce levels of high-density lipoproteins, which is called HDLs, or what's also known as good cholesterol. And for this reason, and because polyunsaturates, like all fats, are high in calories for their weight and volume, it's stated that individuals' intake of polyunsaturated fats should not exceed 10% of total caloric intake. Recently, the concept of good and bad fats has surfaced. Good fats are polyunsaturated and include those listed that I just listed above. Newly added to this list are the omega-3 fats, which don't affect cholesterol levels but may reduce the risk of heart disease by keeping blood flowing freely. Omega-3 fats are essential for life, but since the 1900s, people have been eating fewer of these foods that contain the omega-3s. Polyunsaturated fats commonly consumed in the United States come from vegetable-based oils like your corn oil, your sunflower oil, and cottonseed oil, and contain omega-6s. Although they are also essential, you only need to consume a teaspoon a day of these oils to meet the total need of omega-6s as far as a daily intake. Over time, the intake of omega-6s has dwarfed that of omega-3s. Our ancestors used to eat these fats in a 1-to-1 ratio. And many scientists believe that this shift in dietary intake of fats has led to many of the chronic diseases of aging seen today, like heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis, as well as depression. The best way to balance your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is eating fish twice a week. Now, you done seen me do these videos for almost the last 2 months now, and I keep talking about fish, specifically salmon, which carry omega-6s and omega-3s. But like I say, the best way to balance your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is to eat fish at least twice a week, and use canola oil rather than omega-6 rich vegetable oils. Most people have a 10-year storage of omega-6 fats in their bodies. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to worry about getting enough every day. Things like olive oil contain hardly any essential fatty acids. Now, your flaxseed is rich in omega-3 fats, but only about 5 to 10% of the omega-3s in flaxseed is usable by the body. Nevertheless, it's low in omega-6s, so it can be used, but only in its uncooked form, only in uncooked items, as heat destroys the omega-3s. Another caveat concerning polyunsaturated fats, vegetable shortening and stick margarine are made of liquid polyunsaturated fats, which means they should be healthful, but they are so highly processed that they are not. It is preferable to substitute soft tub margarine, which is less processed than stick margarine, on your toast. It does not perform well when heated. However, so use stick margarine and vegetable shortening when cooking. They are still preferable to butter. Your monounsaturated fatty acids are found mostly in vegetable and nut oils such as olive oil, peanut oil, and canola oil. These fats appear to reduce blood levels of LDLs without affecting HDLs in any way. However, this positive impact upon the LDL cholesterol is relatively modest. It's recommended that the intake of monounsaturated fats be kept between 10 and 15% of total caloric intake. Although most foods, including some plant-derived foods, contain a combination of all three types of fatty acids, one of the types usually predominates. Thus, a fat or oil is considered saturated or high in saturates when it's composed primarily of saturated fatty acids. Such saturated fats are usually solid at room temperature. Similarly, a fat or oil composed mostly of polyunsaturated fatty acids is called polyunsaturated, while a fat or oil composed mostly of monounsaturated fatty acids is called monounsaturated. One other element is trans fatty acids, which used to be in many food products. Is thought to play a role in blood cholesterol levels and other factors that increase the risk of heart disease. Also called trans fat or trans fats. These substances occur when polyunsaturated oils are altered through hydrogenation, which is a process used to harden liquid vegetable oils into solid foods like margarine and shortening. As of 2006, the FDA required all food manufacturers to list trans fat content on the nutritional level. Almost immediately, products free of trans fats emerged on the market. So today, you won't find many products that contain trans fats. But if you do see trans fats on the label, you should avoid the products where it is more than 0.5 gram per serving. Your total intake should be less than 1% of your total caloric intake, or about 2 grams per 1800 calorie diet. It's clear that if your goal is to lower your blood cholesterol, polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats are more desirable than saturated fats or products with trans fatty acids. Just as important, your total calories from fat should range between 20 and 35% of daily calories. Yeah, I mean, with these 4 basic nutrients, you gotta have your water, you gotta have your protein, you gotta have your carbs, you gotta have your fats. But you gotta know what's a good carb and a bad carb. You gotta know what your protein is and how it's broke down and how protein synthesis operates. And with your fats, you gotta know what's up with your saturated fats, your polyunsaturated fats, and your monounsaturated fats. But this has been your 4-part over the 4 basic nutrients that you need on the daily. Like, subscribe, share, like us on Facebook. We on Instagram as well. If you want to write in and want to get a breakdown of whatever particular element that may be bothering you, and you want to tackle it from a nutritional or herbal standpoint, you can email me at universallyalkaline@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on the inbox on here or on the inbox on Facebook. Had to make some adjustments. I just realized it's been 2 weeks since my last video, and I was like, ooh, I've been on the grind. Like I'm trying to continue, not trying, but I am continuing to give you what you guys need to help you guys get by, to make things better for yourself. So, we're not stuck on pills or things like that. I'd rather you supplement or intake in a more natural way, in a more natural form. I miss y'all guys, man. I miss y'all and I love y'all. Like, dang, it been 2 weeks, a whole 14 days since the last time I talked to y'all. That's crazy. But I miss y'all, and this is what makes me want to continue to do this. I want to see everybody healthy. I want to see everybody fruitful and full of abundance and just good health, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna end this here. This your boy Knowledge with the Knowledge, Universally Alkaline Health and Wellness and Herbal Remedies. Be on the lookout for the website and future products coming out. We're gonna have some herbal supplements coming out within the next month or two, coming out on the market, as well as on the website and on Facebook. So be on the lookout for that, as well as other supplements and cough syrups, because the weather is changing, and who wants to take cough medicine that contains a bunch of alcohol when you can have something that is way more beneficial to you. But with that being said, I gotta get back to work. But it was lovely talking to y'all and doing this 4-part video. Much peace and love, health, life, love, blessings, abundance, prosperity to you all. Let's do good. Let's make the necessary changes so we can increase our longevity. I love y'all.